Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I am starting up my reactions to Cowboy Bebop. That sentence made better sense in my head. Anyway, yes, we are watching Cowboy Bebop. This was voted on in my poll to replace Attack on Titan, and now this is what we're going to be watching on Sundays. So, every Sunday, noon Central Time, there'll be a new reaction to Cowboy Bebop right into pretty much till we're finished. With maybe the one couple exceptions if I, take a little break in between, but for the most part, this will be consistent week to week. So yeah, Cowboy Bebop. I should go ahead and say that this is going to be the English dub of Cowboy Bebop because I'm uncultured and that's how I watch anime, pretty much. Not all the time, but normally when I do reactions, I prefer to watch the English dub, so yeah. And I know that'll turn some people off to these reactions, but hey, what can you do? What can you do? That's just how I'm gonna do it, so yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Cowboy Bebop, I don't really know too much about it. I just vaguely looked at the description here on Netflix. This is not the Netflix remake, by the way. This is the original, so. But yeah, something about going through space, something like that, and it's just a group of people, and I guess it's in space. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't really know too much about Cowboy Bebop, except that a lot of people say it's really, really good. So yeah, and this is what was voted on. This is what the people wanted after my Attack on Titan reaction. So yeah, that's pretty much all the lead up I have for this one. Now, because this is a reaction, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen my reaction videos, we do something special here for kind of special for anime reactions. So, posting anime clips on YouTube, if you know anything about it, you know it's very, very dangerous to do. Now, I don't know if the people who own Cowboy Bebop are lenient or not lenient, but either way, I don't really want to try to take chances, so basically, what I'm trying to say is the reaction is not going to be in this YouTube video. I have taken the reaction out of this video and I've put it in its own separate link, basically, apart from YouTube. So this video is just the intro, and the discussion after the episode. If you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Cowboy Bebop, what you gotta do is head down in the description or into the pinned comment. There is, it's just one click away, basically. Just click on one of the links. There will be two links. There will be one that says, watch the reaction highlight here. That's the normal link that we normally use. The other one says, if that link doesn't work, try this. That's basically a backup link. Sometimes it happens that the original link does not work, so I always provide a backup link for hopefully better viewing. So you can click on either of those links. It takes you to the exact same video, and it's just the reaction where I watch the episode. It's all edited, nice and good. And yeah, you can watch that. Alternatively, it is the first episode of the show, not even of the season, but of the show. So if you want to watch my full-length reaction, full unedited reaction for free, you can also do that. That will be the third link down in the description and in the pinned comment. It says, watch the full-length reaction here. You click on that. It will take you over to my Patreon page, but you don't have to pay for this one. And you can watch it. You're going to have to sync up your copy of this episode of Cowboy Bebop to my footage, because I can't give you the footage of Cowboy Bebop, because that is crazy and not good and probably illegal. So I'm not going to do that, but it's as simple as ever. There are plenty of websites where you can watch Cowboy Bebop. I'm currently watching this on Netflix, so yeah. So you can do that, or not. You don't have to do that. And yeah, but after you finish either of those, whether the edited reaction in the first two links or the full-length reaction in the third link, whichever of those you finish, I do highly encourage you to come back here to this YouTube video for the discussion, because we always do a discussion after the episode, and we have a lot of fun talking about what we watch, so yeah. But that is pretty much it, so let's just go ahead and get right into this episode of Cowboy Bebop. Here we go. Alrighty, that is episode 1 of Cowboy Bebop. Alright, I get it. Honestly, I get it. That was... wow. Alright. That was really, really interesting. So, okay. It's a Western. In space. How the fuck did I never put that together? I mean, maybe not the space part, but Cowboy Bebop. He's a cowboy. But it's space. It's, it's got some elements of, like, modern stuff of, like, well, you go to the gas station, go to the bar and stuff like that, but honestly, that's just a fucking Western. In space. Cool. I love it immediately. I absolutely love this immediately. So, first off, before we get into the details of the plot, I have just got to praise the animation immediately. Where, I don't really watch too many older anime, and this is 1998 now. So is 20, I guess at that point that's 24 years old now. So yeah, on the channel we've been reacting to mostly modern anime. The closest I could say is probably when I reacted to the original Hellsing. Kind of reminded me of that a little bit, but other than that, no. This is entirely new territory for me, and I really enjoy it. So yeah. Just the animation starting off, but I love the setting. I love this setting because that's kind of one thing I want to see more of is like actual livable space, Like one of this is maybe kind of a weird reference, but one of my favorite like sort of space images, or just one interesting thing that has to do with space, would be the Space Quest games. I absolutely love. I've never played it, but I've seen videos about them, and I really like the atmosphere of a Space Quest game. You've got your ship, and you've got your ship, your crew, you're the captain, and stuff like that in some of the games later. But then just like, we've landed on this planet, and look, there's the gift shop, Oh, hey, let's go to, was it Monolith Burger or something? Like, let's go to the burger joint that's just floating around above the planet, Like, I love shit like that, It's, something that's different from just, like, the Star Trek, even though I like Star Trek, but Star Trek is more of the clean, like, well, the people that are in space are pretty much, military or scientific. They're official, starships. Yeah, you get some, smugglers and stuff like that, but, when you go to a planet, it's just a planet, pretty much, It's just a planet with some buildings on it. The other end of that would be Star Wars, that tries to do that, but I don't think ever successfully does that. Star Wars, I always look at Star Wars and I think, this is not a livable world, Like, you can live in Star Trek, if you can imagine yourself like, oh yeah, well, day-to-day life still goes on, but, there's the Federation and Starfleet out there. Star Wars, I never thought, like, you look around and it's like, what the fuck do people do around here, Like, a lot of things, that you would normally do just aren't there. So I like that this, to bring this back to Cowboy Bebop, this very much is a livable world that they've already established, Just off the bat, you've got people who go around in their spaceships, like Spike and his friend. It says here, Spike Spiegel and his partner Jet Black. I'm going to remember that. So you have the two of them who are, going around taking odd jobs and stuff like that as bounty hunters. But I like that it's like, yeah, people just, I don't know, you go around, there's just cities out there, There's just cities in space, This one was on an asteroid, and, that was the interesting thing was, constantly, every time you look, there's always, there's always a curve upward because we're inside the asteroid, which was pretty cool, So I like seeing that, just being able to look, and there's just a city curving up, So that was really, really cool. And seeing, this bar, there's the equivalent of gas stations, fuel stations, which was pretty cool. So I love the look at that. The closest to that in Star Wars would be in recent episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. There was one where you see basically just this city in this, sort of ring in space. And I thought that was pretty cool. But this has definitely taken the cake, I feel like, So, already, off the bat, this show has captivated me just by the aesthetic and, the animation and just the world, basically, Like, I just love that. And the fact that it's not just some, some civilization, but also the fact that this is very much a Western, This is very much a Western. He's a cowboy, These are some people, they ripped off the bloody eye, and they're making their way out. And if they can get out of town, they can make it to a better life, Like, that sort of stuff. So, I really enjoy that. And yeah, just off the bat, what a brilliant start to the show, that it's like, you've immediately hooked me completely. Like, I absolutely love that, So, yeah. So, to actually go into my notes in terms of the plot and stuff. So, okay, so the title, Cowboy Bebop. Spike is the cowboy, the Bebop is the ship. I figured that out pretty quickly. So that was really cool. And yeah, Spike is a bounty hunter, but not a very... I don't know if good is the right word, but he's very much a starving bounty hunter. He's working from job to job, trying to get some money for some decent food. Can't even get, when it says like, noodles and beef or whatever, and it's like, but there's no beef in here, And I love immediately the voice acting. Steve Blum is such a great voice actor, so to have him, he's immediately, I love him as Spike Spiegel. So yeah, so that was really cool. But yeah, so we've got Asimov, who has the bloody/red eye. They kind of went back and forth on which one, but yeah, so that was interesting. And it says here in the description, they travel through space to track down a drug lord and his girlfriend. So that was interesting, that he basically... Now, he was trying... It sounds like he was trying to sell some of it, but they had, like, a ton of it. Pretty much every single vial of red eye. And I guess he was just going to either sell all of it or sell some of it to this bartender. We don't know anything about this bartender, but yeah. So that was interesting. But then there were multiple bounty hunters trying to get him. But Spike was the one who got the closest. We had the sort of, I guess, foretelling of the future by the one Native American looking dude in space. I guess, hey, Native Americans can last that long. I don't see why not, But yeah, so Spike just got his fortune told, and that's how he ended up finding them in that place. But yeah, so that was interesting, and then I did like immediately, it's kind of, he's trying to get close to them so that he can get this stuff and turn in Asimov. But I also like that he did take the opportunity to eat something, He ate the hot dog and stuff, so that was really funny. But yeah, he's a cowboy. He's a bounty hunter. That is really, really interesting. I like that. You immediately pretty much understand him. And yeah, it kind of reminds me, maybe the only other thing I could think that's kind of close to this is maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, because they do that in the movies where it's like, oh yeah, well, we're kind of going around trying to get some money and stuff like that. But with this specifically being a bounty hunter, it seems like it's not just he's a bounty hunter, but they do specifically go after criminals and stuff like that, because they were looking at like the wanted sheet basically for Asimov. So that was really cool. But yeah, so that was interesting, and the whole thing of, we got to go to Mars. We got to go to Mars at some point in this show. That's got to be a thing, right? But Spike was born on Mars, but Mars is apparently this great, what sounds like utopia. It's like, I guess it's like, oh yeah, we're in podunk bumfuck nowhere in the United States. But if we can get up to New York or Chicago, if we can get out to Los Angeles or something, get to a big city, then we're gonna make it. We're gonna be somebody, So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from how they talked about Mars in this. So that was really interesting. And then the twist. I'm so stupid. The twist that she's not actually pregnant, but that's where they were hiding all the vials. Like, that was very clever. I like that. So yeah. And then her seeing him, starting to lose it, she just friggin' killed him. Just kill him. Like, no, we're never gonna be able to get to Mars. You have lost it. This has to end. So she killed him, and then pretty much just let herself die by the police. The fucking police were ready to kill, though. Jesus. But yeah, that was interesting. That sort of sacrifice. Not really sacrificing herself, like, not for Spike or anything like that, but just realizing, like, okay, this needs to end, This has got to be over. So yeah. And then that last scene where, it kind of looks like for a second that maybe it had an effect on Spike, but then just, hey, I got your food's ready, and he passes over the cigarette. I love, actually, that that there's not, like, defined, like, gravity floors, basically, like you would get in Star Trek or Star Wars or something like that. It seems to be, because they had other objects that were, like, floating around. If there is gravity, it's very low gravity. But I mean, like, he's, doing all these, fighting moves and stuff, and he's not, like, flying around while he does it. So, maybe there's, like, low levels of gravity. But I also noticed when Spike took off in the other ship that Jet specifically, like, disabled the magnetized floors, Maybe they have magnetic shoes. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But yeah, that was all very interesting. And yeah, so the whole thing, it kind of seems like, oh, does this have an effect on Spike or does it not? I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But either way, maybe he's looking at this like, well, there goes that job. We move on. So, but yeah, either way, still really, really, really friggin' interesting. I enjoyed this. And yeah, so we move on to go find another job pretty much. So, what a great start to the show. Honestly, really, really enjoyed this episode. And yeah, I love the animation. I love the world this is built. I love that this is a Western pretty much. That may be one of the greatest, like, starts to a show that I've seen in a while. Although I don't know, because recently I picked up, like, Full Metal and stuff like that. JoJo had a strong start and stuff, even though it was bonkers. But yeah, like, this was a really, really great start, and yeah, I'm excited to watch more of this. So tune in next week, unless you're watching this in the future in the playlist, in which you can just keep on going. But yeah, tune in next week. Every Sunday we're going to be watching this show, but that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Cowboy Bebop reactions, even though at time of recording this there would only be one, but whatever. There's also another video on screen. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen if you want to go check those out, or other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.